Hi, Ellen. Good to see you. Just thought I'd sit here for a little bit till everybody comes in because this is never a bad view. They have cleaned out the basin here in the last week. It was empty last week, just filled with greeny, yucky water a week and a half ago. Cleaned it out, and if you look down this side, it's green and yucky again. So I don't know what they're trying to figure out, but of course it was very, very clean when the entire thing was cleaned out, but now it gets yucky again. But it is a beautiful day after it being so cold and rainy and snowing and everything we've had the last week. And it still was in the 30s this morning, but it is getting better. And it is really sunny and pretty this afternoon. All day it has been. So I thought about starting, since I wanted to share my favorite Paris. And then I thought about starting it, of course, at the Louvre. But then I just decided it was too beautiful of a day, and you probably would all want to see the Luxembourg. And it is packed with people. And there's a screaming child. But this morning, or early, probably around, I guess it was 10-ish or so, I came here and sat here right in this spot for about an hour and read in the sunshine. It was magnificent. There was not that many people here. Sundays are my very, very favorite day because in Paris, it just takes everybody a little longer to wake up and get out. Usually by about 11:30 or so, you start to see people. But first thing in the morning, it's very, very quiet and it's fantastic. But you can see if every once in a while a little gust of wind picks up and the water speeds up down here. But the colors, everything, I'm going to post later today on my Instagram. If you don't follow me, make sure you do. Claudine Bleu Blanc Rouge. I took a whole bunch of pictures today just walking around the park, and just the combination of like the color of the leaves, as you can see over there, and the grass with the blue sky. It was just phenomenal. All right, let's go walk around. It's also, today is the first election day. The next one will be in 2 weeks. Today is when they narrow it down from 12 candidates. And then on the 24th, it goes down to the top 2. And then they vote for those. So hopefully there's no surprises. Everybody kind of thinks they know what's going to happen today. So hang on, guys, just letting more people in. But so 1 to 2 weeks, I could get a little worrisome. So we've come here into the garden a few times on the walks, but we've never come to the back. And the back is where the Leda and the Swan fountain is. And since they cleaned up the fountain, they turned this water on. I never had seen the water come out of the bronze beak of the swan that's up there. But now the water comes out. It's very, very clean back here. But you can see some lilacs. They're not completely open yet. It was not a good thing, but in some ways a good thing because it did get so cold. It kind of snapped everything and it stopped. It's not good for the vineyards. But for those of you arriving in the next week or so, it kind of put a stop to some of the blooming. So, But I love the back of this fountain. It's kind of the secret fountain. And what the story was is that this fountain, the Medici Fountain, used to be over closer on the other side of where those buildings are, about 100 feet away. And when Haussmann was doing his thing, he actually decided to have this one taken apart, stone by stone, and move it to where it is now. And then they decided on the back of it, because this Lita was on another fountain that was installed by Napoleon I nearby, and that one actually was going to be destroyed to make a road a little bit larger. And so the architect thought, hey, I'm going to save this. And then they tried to figure out where they were going to put it. And then once this fountain moved, because it once was against a wall, they thought, oh, look, we have this whole back of the fountain now. And so that's just where they put it. Recently, I saw a story that some people were pretty outraged and trying to get rid of a lot of the certain stories of mythology, including this one. Of course, the story of Leda and the Swan was that Zeus saw her and was attracted to her and wanted to be with her. And Zeus, the gods can never take the form of a human, can never see them in the form of their godlike being. So they had to actually turn himself into an animal. So he, for Leda, turned himself into a swan. There's of course where he turned himself a bull. There's all sorts of different stories, but he basically, some of the depictions of Leda and the Swan in art are pretty graphic, but basically he seduced her. She got pregnant. She also had slept with her husband the same day. She also got pregnant from him. And then later she gave birth to two giant eggs. One had the two sons of Zeus and one had the two sons of her husband. But a lot of people think that it depicts rape and it should not be shown. But some of the images are pretty racy of Leda and the Swan. That one is not. So you can see there are a ton of people out right now. And we're just gonna head around here. I was hoping that we had some of the spring plantings in. There's a few. I saw some huge, beautiful pink tulips. But as you could tell, the urns that are around the fountain are still empty. And some of the other big plantings, especially around the lower part of the basin between the palace, are still kind of have its winter stuff in there. So maybe they're waiting a bit because we did have that pretty big cold spell, but it looks like it's going to start to get nice. We might have some rain again this week, but it's spring. It's Paris. It's always okay. Except for the other day where it literally was dumping buckets of rain. I went to the Orangerie to see the amazing exhibit they had about the Impressionists, the decor of the Impressionists, and how many of the Impressionists were commissioned by private citizens to paint things in their apartments. And it was really, really cool. And afterwards, it was so wet that in about a minute and a half, I was completely head to toe drenched because I was walking into the rain, even though I had an umbrella. And I said, forget this, I'm going home. And then I went out a little bit later to get some provisions, cheese and a baguette and some wine. So I was just going to walk down here. It is really adorable. There's a ton of little kids in the boats today. It was adorable. And those kids with those sticks are lethal, I tell you. I was standing next to the edge and they got whacked a few times. Look at this cute little thing. Thing about the Paris parks is it's always where the families are. And it does start I think the school holiday, I think it maybe starts next week because everybody will have Friday off from work, and then they will have Monday for Easter Monday, the 17th off, 18th. So then they were all leave Paris for the spring break. And I have done, if you guys make sure you listen to our podcast, because tomorrow is a really special episode. It's 100 episodes we have recorded about women and historical moments and historical places in Paris. And I'm really excited. 100. Hi, Chrissy. So that's kind of exciting. We did a fun episode kind of talking about our favorite ones. But I've also done a few episodes on there that you could actually bring to Paris with you and use as a walking guide. There's 2 that we did on the ladies, the 20 ladies that go around at the top. There's 10 on each side. Can you see how many people are? And you could push play, start at one side and go through them. And I also did some in the Louvre. We also did, what else did we do? Oh, the ones about the Notre Dame statues that are at the Architecture Museum over in the Trocadero, which is not a museum a lot of people think to go to, but don't miss it. It is amazing and nobody ever goes. Or I don't mean nobody goes, but nobody's there. Oh my God. Can you see how many people are here? I have not seen it this busy since 2019. All the sounds of Paris right now. See that little guy? Did you see him with that stick? Somebody was gonna get it. Oh, and there's like huge koi fish in there. And these little kids are trying to whack it with a stick. But you see they have, if you haven't seen these before. Oh, no. Let's try to find, the most popular one is the pirate boat. They each have flags of different countries on it. The most popular is the pirate. But they drop it into the water and then they use these sticks to push it along. They also had some adults had these really big tall boats. I'll post the pictures later that were like remote controlled going around here, and they were pretty serious. But look at that. Isn't it a lovely day? This little guy. I get nervous. I feel like I said, oh, there's a pirate. Oh yeah, Ellen, there was a submarine earlier today too, a little one. And then here's a little remote controlled one. But the submarine today was maybe it was the same guy, was an adult doing it. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of, part of me was like, hey, we're big kids too. We could do it. Yeah, maybe. I bet Ellen, it was the same person. But at the same time, I was kind of like, leave this for the kids, or can we rent the boats? I want to rent a boat. But they just, so they push them with a stick and then it just keeps kind of going around the pond. And all the fishies in there. But usually they don't let you sit around. They usually will yell at you so that they won't let you sit next to it. Okay, we're gonna go over here. Let's see. They do, Ellen. So the story goes, I've shared this, I've written this, I put on Instagram before, but there was a gentleman and his wife, and they had a store and they made and sold those boats. She would sew the little masts and sails, and he would create the wooden boats. And he had an idea because they put this basin here and said, contacted the Senate the Senate, because they're the ones that oversee this park here. They asked if they could put the boats. He's like, can I rent the boats and the basin there? And the Senate said yes. This was like 100 years ago. And they supposedly are still the same boats. And it's now done by his great grandson. But supposedly the bodies of the boats are the same. And the sails obviously had to be changed and the boats repainted and everything over time. But it's such a great little cute story. Okay. I'm also hoping to share with you guys, and I've been taking pictures anytime I see them, the candy stores with all of their Easter chocolatey goodness. And it's amazing. I bought on the April 1st, they had at the Medici Fountain, which is fantastic. They had these fish that were three-dimensional fish, super, super cute. I posted a picture of them. And you take it apart, and inside, there's chocolates inside too. And it was very delicious. My mom saw it and put in a request for one. But I don't think they have the fish anymore. But they have chickens and bunnies. And the chickens are so cute. But a lot of the stores have just like these huge chocolate bunnies and huge chocolate eggs. It's really super, super cute. The egg thing here in France, and I remember learning this in my French class when I started it years ago, that in France, it's not the Easter bunny, it's the bells. And so these bells ring and drop down treats. So that's why in some of the stores, you actually also see bells. So here's some beautiful flowers. I don't know if you can see that when I walk by, that one bed is just dirt. So they got to be getting ready, but look at those. So pretty. So this is the Palais De Luxembourg, which is where the Senate is. This is, of course, what Marie de Medici had built. And when you come here for the third weekend in September, I should just, maybe I should organize a whole thing so people come that weekend, and then I will take you to all these places. But this is one of those places that's open. I've gone for a couple years, and it's fantastic because it actually changes a little. And so they have like these predetermined routes because these are governmental buildings. You have a lot of security to get into them. And then it's kind of like, going to IKEA, you go in a route that they predetermine, and that's just how you do it. You don't just get to wander around on your own. But I was glad I did it this last year because I saw a little bit different things than I did when I went a couple years ago. This, I'm not sure what they're doing here, but last week they were packing the bottom of those trees with styrofoam, and they were building these things around. It's probably just because maybe they're going to be doing some work around here. They're keeping them safe. It's just right here, but right past this, as you know, my favorite guy. And we might go a little bit past 6 o'clock. So, get some water and a snack because I'm going to take you to my absolute favorite place. So here is the Delacroix. This was created for him after he died because, of course, he lived very close to here. I love him. That is Time. He is holding up an allegory that is leaving feathers, a palm leaf for him, perfect on this Palm Sunday. And then you have another allegory down below that's looking up at him and clapping, sharing his love for the master, the romantic master. Oh, I thank you, Rag. But what I love about this, I always bring people through here, is that each of those are different. So they created each one of these things, and that's just the beauty that is Paris. And those are those things that you might not notice exactly, but it's just like this pleasing thing to your eye. And you're just like, why is it so perfect? Because they made it that way. And we are oh so thankful. Yeah, so they're digging up. I'll keep you posted on what's going on here. This is the orangerie. The trees are still in there. You can see the palm trees and everything, but those should come out here in the next few weeks. And you can see more of the artists up here on top, including that handsome chap, that handsome guy right there. Guess who that is? That's right. Ding, ding. You and the 100 euros, Stella Claw. I made a joke, if you listen to the podcast recently, that I find a way to bring Delacroix into almost every episode without even actually trying. But now I said, maybe I should just do that. Everything is 6 degrees of Delacroix. There was people in this here this morning, and do you notice in the parks, especially like Monceau and this and here at Luxembourg, people all run in a certain direction. There was people going on the same path in the other direction, and I thought maybe it would be utter mayhem, but the paths are pretty wide. So I also wanted to share with you guys some great things if you guys are going to be coming here in the next few months, pretty much between now and say July. Excuse me. There's a fantastic exhibition going on here at the Musée de Luxembourg. Is a amazing exhibition about the pioneer women of the 1920s artists, but they also have Sylvia Beach and Adrienne Monnier in there. They also have some designers, one that shall not be named, which I gave a look of disgust, probably because that company is a big sponsor of it. But the Musée de Luxembourg is such a great museum. It's small, and it only has 2 exhibits a year. And you have an Angelina right there that they always do. And I need to go in there and see what let's go see if we can see a picture. They always do a special dessert that's tied to the exhibit. When it was the exhibit right before this of Vivian Maier. Ellen and Muka, that was so great. The one that they did for Vivian Maier, because she was a photographer, it was like white chocolate, and around it, the white chocolate was printed like a film strip. It was just so cool. Let's see. I don't see a picture. Usually there is a picture of it, but I will check on it and report back to you. But it's a fantastic museum. And our dear friend Camille, her family is in charge of basically the heritage of the artist named Jacqueline Marval, who was a artist early 1900s, and of course 1920, and she painted alongside Picasso and Matisse. Maybe having a camera made them stop. I scared them. And 2 of the paintings from Camille's family's collection are in there. It was so fun, and I was so proud to see her stuff there and to stand back and watch people take pictures of it. It was really cool. And Camille is one of the most beautiful women in Paris, but also one of the sweetest. So I'm going to take you down by Saint-Sulpice because today is Palm Sunday. I went in there earlier today. They gave us some branches. I went in and sat for mass for about 10 minutes, but I'm not Catholic and I get nervous that I'm not doing something correctly, and I don't want to be disrespectful. So I usually just kind of stand in the background, but I do love watching it and I love listening to it all in French. But look at that. Look at that with the sky today. It's so beautiful. I thought she was going to a sock hop for a second. So we just passed where Hemingway and Pauline lived, but that's not the theme of our today. Although it is my Paris, I guess it kind of is. But this little place, this has like the prettiest little facade. It wasn't like a little tea room for a long time, but I have not seen it open. But look at up there. Like, wouldn't you want to live up there? You need a photo of that door. Here, I will go. This. You want this door, Ellen, or the Hemingway door?
I follow you. You're
awesome. Thank you. That was okay. I'll try to get a pic. I'll take a screenshot of it, but I'll come back, Ellen, and get a picture if you want. That was so cute, that lady. I have to say that is like the fourth time that's happened to me today. It happens a couple times a day. And if you're watching this and you are in Paris and you do stop and say hi, thank you so much. It's so, so sweet. I am always still shocked. I do obviously stick out like a sore thumb, but it is very, very nice that people come up and say hi. I used to be terrified to ever do that because I didn't want to bother somebody until I saw Dory Greenspan. And then I saw her and started talking to her and talked to her for like 45 minutes. And she was just about the sweetest woman in the world and so down to earth and normal. So here's Sensi, please. So you can see way down there, there's scaffolding because they're finally fixing that was set on fire 3 years ago before the fire of Notre Dame. This was not here this morning. I don't remember seeing this part of it. There was that up there. But you can still see there's these little ladies and they will give you some little branches. And I gave them like €5 for it because they had money sitting out. So it's for Palm Sunday. And so this week there's all sorts of stuff. They did a procession out here today as well at 11. I wanted to get back to see that, but I missed it. But they're very cute, very sweet. They're all over. There was a couple people. Look at that. I think it's like May Day when it's okay for people to put these out and take money for it. Look at these little girls with grandpa. Oh, so sweet. There we go down. Check out the chocolates. And East Saint Laurent. So I posted yesterday in my stories. It took a really long time. And because I have an issue editing, because I want to share every picture of the new Dior museum. This is the fantastic Café de la Main, which was a Hemingway haunt, of course, because they lived up the street. But I have only ever been there for breakfast, for coffee and a croissant, and apéro. I've never eaten there. There's quite a few places I've never actually eaten except for a croissant. You see over there. But so check out my stories. I saved them all. I saved all of the ones I did from the Dior, the new museum. If you were in Paris, I think it was 2017, when they did the Dior exhibit that was at the Musée des Arts Décoratifs, and it was phenomenal. One of the best things I've ever seen. This blows it away. Excuse me. It is so good. It is just, and it's like state of the art too. Like everything in it. Oh, good. It's open. Everything in it, I took a tons and tons of videos. So go check them out. They're all saved underneath my bio. There was a Pierre Hermé over here. It closed, but there's still one right down there. But this one closed just since January. All right. So this is it. This is where I get Grandma her chocolate covered marzipan. Look at those chickens and hens. Look at that one. And there's little bunnies. And a big squirrel. Oh, they still have the whistle. And some bells. See the bells up there? Oops. And a squirrel. Look at that one. And even a turnip. But I really love the chickens. I mean, they're so cute. That they're expensive. But then these little eggs here, they gave me some of those that have pralines in it. Oh, so good. And that chocolate, that's where I always get Grandma wants milk chocolate covered marzipan. She's very specific. And I think when she used to come here with my grandfather, they had marzipan on every other corner. Now they do not. And sometimes they don't even have the almond marzipan there. They have the pistachio marzipan. And I got that last time and I had to hear about it. But it is, I would always just go buy it. And then one day they said, oh, you want a sample? And I had a sample and I put it in my mouth and walked out the door. And then I was like, oh my God. And now I go in there and get a little something for myself. But those chocolate bunnies remind me, my grandma, I don't know where it is, it was probably like a 16, 15-inch chocolate bunny standing up on its front legs. And it looked like a real chocolate bunny. And we had this tradition that every Easter, you come up there, you take a bite out of it, although because it was plastic, but it had the same texture as chocolate. It just would leave teeth marks in it. It's kind of gross when you think about it now, but it was only us. It wasn't like every stranger that came to the house over the year. That, of course, is the greatest pharmacy of all time. It says it's closed on Sunday, but it's always open on Sunday. Just doesn't open as early. I should check to see. I know the chocolate bells are, there's so many things that you just didn't know you needed. Oh, look, there's just some sad little random festive shoes. And that's all walked around on the street. Very 70s-ish. Oh, that's kind of cute. If it was in red. I don't know. I don't think orange is my color. Okay. Where shall we go? Walk this way between Cafe de Fleur or straight across that way. Oh, actually, let's go this way because they put these little market up. And this morning, it was all closed up. So I couldn't see. The only thing I did see was there was a souvenir guy. And then there was a place that was selling all sorts of truffle goodness, oils. So let's go check it out. So next Sunday, as we know, is Easter. And obviously, since I do this in the early evening here in Paris, I can't really do mass or those things, but let me know, because I was gonna pop in last time in 2019. I went to Saint Eustache, which was the major city one, which was cool. But let me know what you guys want to see. I could also do some videos of it and share that, and then we could just cruise around instead. Definitely yesterday, was it yesterday? I popped into the Louvre and I was leaving there. It was about 1:45, and the line to get in was all the way back to the entrance of the Cour Carré. So it's back to being very, very busy. So that's just souvenirs. But it's like a little artisan boutique. Some jewels and some scarves. Look at the nougat. Look at that. Look at the nougat with the almonds. Chrissy. Chrissy, I'll come back to get you some Nutella. I had to say, I didn't hate that guy in a beret. I usually like, ugh, but that one was okay. So let's pop in here real quick. Here's the truffles, black and white. Excuse me. My cold's much better, except for now it's just like it's trapped in my ears, which is great. That my right ear gets so much pressure. I actually start walking sideways. So this right here, we are just on the side of the Église Saint-Germain-des-Prés. But this guy right here, this is Bernard Falci. He was a sculptor, and I don't know if you could see. Let me try to get in there. See that plate? So he did this really amazing pottery that would have all inspired by nature. I don't know. I mean, mostly these plates are definitely for display. You didn't exactly, put your Christmas roast on it, and because it did look like that. And I did see some in the Louvre yesterday, but he did a bunch of stuff that he also did for Catherine de Medici. But this is a really cool little, there is a plaster copy of this same statue in the Petit Palais, which I also went to the other day to go see the Boldini exhibit, and that was also beyond. So look at there's a little oven, there's a little plate in there. And then back here on this wall, you've probably all heard of the Serre pottery. And it was originally created by Madame Pompadour and Louis XV. They started a decorative company, and then it merged. But this was part of the exhibition. And in 1800, and when it was taken apart, it was moved over here. And it's really beautiful. It's just chilling here on the wall. But it's kind of perfect. You got this here. You got our other little pottery guy. But this, you can see back here from the backside. So Saint-Germain-des-Prés, the Abbey, stretched way over and all the way to the other side. All right, how about we pop through the church real quick, see what's happening. So it's a quicker way to get to the other side. And I'm sure all of you, I know Ellen, Chrissy, and everybody else, many of you that have been on here that I saw have been inside this church, and it is phenomenal. It is fully restored. It's a very strange junk guy. Just tried to. I'm not sure. Poor Kate, when she does this when I'm not here, she's always getting harassed by the gentleman, depending on which area we're in. She's also absolutely gorgeous. It's the sweetest girl ever. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna go back out because there's people right there and I don't like to be disruptive during a service. But I think this is when they do the Spanish Mass on Sundays. Okay. Sorry, I don't like to, if there's a mass going on and I don't like to go through and take pictures and stuff. I don't want to be disruptive. So we'll go back to some good food. Should we try one of these little pieces? Oh, sure. Oh, it's a little. Oh my God. Sorry if you're hearing me chomp. Oh, there's truffle oil. Okay, go back. My truffle oil and Chrissy Nutella. Look at how pretty these are, guys. I hope Dawn's watching. Dawn, our little sweet Atlanta baker that's also moving to Paris. Look at that. Mohuda, look at how cute these are. So I think that lime would be yummy. Anybody need a new, Reg, do you need a new bag? How about this one? And no, just say no. So these are beautiful little boxes. Oh my gosh, that Nutella, or not the Nutella, Chris, you have it on my brain. The truffle oil was divine. All right. We will go. Why don't we go left, right? Gauche, droit? Which way? Which way? We'll go this way. I charged up my battery. I love these little side, very, very quiet streets that I'm going to get run over on. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. Pardon, merci. And next Friday, or this Friday, I should say, the 15th, it is the 3-year anniversary of the fire at Notre Dame. And so I'm also going to do something special that day live. There's something going on earlier in the day that I'll go and record. But I will do a live, probably, my plan was to do it about 6 p.m. Paris time, so that'd be 9 a.m. And so hopefully it's not too late and be at noon on the East Coast, because that would be pretty much almost started at 6:30 at night here. So it's almost 3 years exactly to the day. If we're over here, we got to walk through here, don't we? I need to come back because there's a new exhibit at the Delacroix. I took my clients in there when I first got here, but we were going like 15 minutes before it closed, and so they just wanted a quick peek in there. But I need to come back because the special exhibit is about Delacroix and nature. And of course, so this is a Place de Fürstenberg. I'm sure everybody knows. I want to pop down this super cute little side street because I want to see if my favorite Jean Charles de Cassavajac, if his angels are still there. They were just, sort of. Look at that. I want like that little place right there. I want this little corner. Oh, look, they're mostly still here. Who would come by and erase those? Maybe it was rain. But he did these back in November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I think he actually did them all the same day. But I always love finding those. And this area right here, there's lots and lots of interior design stores. Of course, there's lots of galleries down here too. Here's my adorable little arty dandy store where I got my favorite Rive Gauche and Rive Droite tennis shoes, but I did not bring them with me because I did not want to walk them into the ground, which is what I do when I'm here. But here they are in the window. I do want to come back because I got a necklace here that I want to see if they have the earrings. Cute trench. But they have really cute stuff. There's my shoes. And I really like Ellen. If you're still here, we could get the little Tour de France guys. I really actually love those. So we are in my neighborhood. I won't say exactly where because this is where I'm going to be staying for at least the next year and a half. I am super excited because look at that. How beautiful is that? I'm super excited because my Airbnb wanted to rent it to me. I always love this little street too because you can see the top of Saint-Sulpice. But that was one of my big projects for when I got here. And I basically was here on the ground of Paris in 3 hours and had my apartment taken care of. So that right over there, number 57, where the blue door is, that is where the club was that Jim Morrison maybe died in. Some say his fans said he died there. And then on the toilet in the bathroom. And then they moved his body back to his apartment in the Marais. We may never know. But that used to be where the club was. And I got this super fun keychain on Amazon that looks like one of those old school keychains for a hotel. And it says on there in French, it says Mon appartement parisien, and it says 57 Rue de Seine, which is that door. How random. How are we doing on time? We have 10 minutes until, oh, and there's April. Hi, April, how are you? Good. That's April in Paris tours. That's the first time we've actually run into, I thought we would run into each other all the time. But okay, there's lots of people sitting here, but so this little trend going on in Paris where it looks like flowers are growing up all over the buildings. Some of it's gotten to be a bit too much, But this place, come and try to do this without. Look at this. It's super cute. La Diva de Pré. I mean, it's kind of a perfect name. And this just popped up here in the last few days. I'm not sure what's going in there. There's this fun place. Hi. But I love that they, everywhere there's something vacant, they put this thing that says just believe in art. And I love that. This is a great little place to get oysters. Are you guys all still with me? I hope. Thanks, Chrissy. How is it warm wherever you guys are? I saw that my mom let me know that they're getting a cold snap in Portland this week. Sounds like what we had this last week here. But hopefully that doesn't last because it is April, for Pete's sake. And it should just be nice. But we'll be, I'm sure, complaining about the heat in no time. Here is a great Polish bookstore over here. If Roma's watching this later. It is one thing I love about Paris and walking around on the streets is that everywhere you walk, you literally, it's like the United Nations. Walk down the street, of course you hear French, but then you also hear Russian and Japanese and Chinese and Polish and Australian accents and English accents and everything. And I just noticed that, I was noticing that this morning. And I mean, definitely not in Portland, Oregon. You don't get that in Portland, Oregon. Here, we'll go around here. I was very sad to report to everybody, but George Clooney has been removed at the Nespresso. I love this little place. So there's actually, if it is a old facade of a certain period, you're not allowed to change it. So that's why sometimes you see clothing stores and it'll say like fromagerie or on top of it, which I love. See, George used to be right there, but now it's some dumb forest. I don't mean it's dumb. We need the forest, but I'm never going to complain about a little glimpse of George. So this is the Marché Saint-Germain, which is where I come and get my cheese at the Sanders Fromagerie. This is the Uniqlo. This is one place that if you were come to Paris, you forget something, or like I did, you arrived and you didn't have anything warm or, you know, before 30 degrees and snowing, come here. They have this stuff called heat tech. And I actually have one of them on underneath my silk blouse. They come in different, there's like a really heavy one, and then there's a lighter one. And they are so toasty warm. It is like all you really need to put on underneath something. I have one that's like the extra warm one, and I was wearing it in January in the Orsay. I had that on with a sweater and my wool coat and a scarf. And I had to go to the bathroom and strip down half of my stuff because I thought I was going to pass out. I was so hot. So, but stuff is great. It's super, super thin. It works with your own body heat. They also had stuff that was called Air Tech, I think. So here's this cute little street just down there on the right. is Rue Princess. That is where a bunch of the bars are that I sometimes get taken to till 4 o'clock in the morning by my friends that are half my age. Some of them are even more than that, I hate to say. This is not the best, but it's close. This is the Camp de Bourg, Marseille, Comptoir de Marché. But this is not the one that's my favorite, except for now, my wonderful, sweet friend and brother, Oscar, works there now. He is the main chef at that location, and he is the greatest, and his food is fantastic. So don't tell Stella. I'm probably gonna go there every once in a while. Don't tell. I literally do actually get in big trouble. He wouldn't talk to me for like a day when I went to the Le Mont Comptoir de la Mer, right next door. And so what time is it? Oh, we could head that direction. So in here in the Marché, they have the fromagerie. It's closed for the day, but they have like this little poissonnerie that's also a wine bar. There's 2 produce sellers in there. There is a meat seller that you could also get amazing pate. I love this little map because if you guys have seen my necklace I have, the custom necklace, it looks like this. And this right here is where the comptoir. And I noticed the other day, this person that wrote Claude on everything, this was like, I think in 2019, I noticed it everywhere. And this is the only one I've seen, but I stopped here today and I did not do that. But it's pretty perfect that it's Claude and it's right above my favorite. I didn't do it. I do not endorse vandalism as they do on my favorite bridge. Look at that's a sight to behold. Okay. That guy was singing Britney Spears. Britney Spears is, I hear more Britney Spears here. Oh, here we are, than I do anywhere. So, Chrissy, here's another bell. Look at that turtle. Little cute little turtle. Another bell. I just love the little hens. Like, aren't those are so cute. This place is great. Not only it's a wonderful bakery, but they also have some food and stuff. You could get here some salads. And you want me to tell you a little secret about who lives above this? Look at the turtles. Where do you guys stand on white chocolate? I need to get one of those for Eve. What? It's a little puppy. Okay, that's like a Mr. Potato Head. It's like a Mr. Potato Head egg. So yeah, this is a really great place. Look at these in the window. Their baguettes are really yummy. But I was told by my literary friend, oh my gosh, now I can't remember what the author's name is. Not my friend, but the John Grisham. So up above there, John Grisham owns an apartment. It's probably like that whole upper floor. I'm the one, the secrets. It's also no surprise that when people recognize me, it's usually in Saint-Germain, in Odeon, or near the Louvre. I love this facade over here too of the creamerie that it's a wine bar. Excuse me. And then we're coming to the greatest little triangle in all of Paris. There's the very fancy ice cream place up here. Gelato. I have not had that yet. And we have, of course, Ibu. And if any of you come here and need some booze, I'll get it across here quickly. Try not to get run over. I'll take you over. I don't know. I don't think Zoe's there today, but Ibu is a popular spot. And of course, there's the home of the greatest jambon avec truffe. Galette. And this adorable little store here is my friend Zoe. She does all of these great pieces inspired by literature. And she also made these little slippers that she told me she can embroider them. And maybe I might be able to get embroidered with Blue Blonde Rouge. How about some little cute undies? But she makes these really great candles here too. She gave me one that said Perrier une fête, removable feast. But she does all of this, she makes all of this stuff. She designs all of it, and it's really, really great. I don't think she has undies that say Perrier une fête. But when I first came to Paris, my very first trip, I stayed in an apartment that was 2 floors. It's Zoe Ferdinand is the name of the shop, and we're on Carrefour de l'Odéon. But I stayed in the second row of windows up there in this really, really great apartment, this close to what is now my very favorite place. And I didn't even go there. I hadn't even gone. I hadn't even discovered it. My love affair had not begun there. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Hopefully Pauline's there. We shall see. Hopefully it's not too busy. This is, I'll show you over here first. Is she there? I don't think she's back yet. She should be soon. Here, let's walk around the corner. So right next door, we have De La Mer. And Eric is always there. Eric has actually worked there for Comptoir for 18 years. He was on the video when I was watching the first show Anthony Bourdain did in Paris. He came there a couple times on all of his different shows because he loved it, and he was friends with Yves. And Eric was in that very first video working in De La Mer when that was the only one they had was De La Mer. You know, Danton, of course, right here. That is basically where he lived. His house was bulldozed. Here, we'll go up and around the corner. What time is it? You guys want me to show you where the actual original Shakespeare and Company was? Here's, of course, a Starbucks, which, you know, not exactly looked upon to go there. But I do go every once in a while because I love that I could go to a place and when they ask my name and I say Claudine, they don't ask me how to spell it or go, huh? Like they do in the US. So I love going to that one. And sometimes you just need a Thai latte. So this street right here, Rue du Pitrin, is where our wonderful Sylvia Beach opened up her very first Shakespeare and Company, where Good Joe is. And David Sedaris has an apartment, his apartment above it. Supposedly he still has it, even though he doesn't live there. Look at that one on the top. It's got like a little sunroom. But this is where the original Shakespeare and Company was. And then of course, she moved over to Rue de l'Odéon. This is one of the greatest stores in all of Paris. This whole area, it's this street going across here is Rue Monsieur de France, because this whole area was given by Marie de Medici to the Prince d'Orléans at the time, because she wanted him to marry one of the mistresses of Henry IV to get the mistress out of her life. So she said, if you marry her, I'll give you all of this land. It's near Palais De Luxembourg. So she gave him all this land. Nothing really remains of that. This is also, this street right here was once the moat around the wall that surrounded Paris. So that was right here. Because if it went down and around, look, it's a very lovely day. Okay, we could pop back in, see if Pauline is there yet. Usually at 6, but if she's not, then I'll leave you and maybe we'll try to do it a different day. Good, how are you doing? At least it's sunny today. Okay, we'll pop in and see. I don't think she's here because it's still a tad bit early, but I will go in and show you. If nobody's here right now. Bonjour. Sabia. So that is, she should be here soon. But this is the famous little comptoir and the butter that's melting in the heat that's on right now. But there you go. So I will leave you guys and maybe I'll pop back up, do a live in a little bit on Instagram. She goes home. So the way that the system works there is they come in the morning, like at about 10 o'clock, and they get ready and they open it up. And then at 3 o'clock, they leave. At 3 to 6 p.m., they go home and take a nap. And then they come back and work. So that is nap time. And usually if it's Sylvain, he is a little grouchy. So if you come back at 6, you got to give him a little time to wake up. He gets a little dinner. I love him dearly, but he can be a bit of a crab. We like to say that he's like a teenage boy because he has the temperament of a teenage boy at times, but I love him. All right, guys. I will leave you here at the wonderful Pharmacie de Lyon and at this beautiful view of downtown. But thank you guys so much. If you loved this and you want to send me a little tip, I'd always appreciate it. And I'll probably just hand it right over Telephone Comptoir. But you could leave a tip at ClaudineHemingway.com on either PayPal or Venmo. And we were going to try to do this on YouTube, but because I don't have 1,000 followers, there's all of these obstacles in the way. So I'm trying to figure out, we could always do live on Facebook, but I don't know if some of that alienates some people if you're not on Facebook. So I want to do this whatever way is the easiest way to get out to people. So let me know. There's always Instagram. I could do an Instagram live and I think it records it. That's also an option. But let me know what you guys think. This way with Zoom is great because it automatically records it. And I think I did a setting on it that should be in high definition. So hopefully the picture is better now too. But let me know, you guys, because I love sharing this with you. But I'll bring a couple other things this week, and make sure you are following in my stories because I'm trying to put as much possible. I have seen so many things already that I haven't posted because sometimes at the end of the day, I'm just exhausted. And when I post it, I want to put the whole story about it, each thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm just tired. So, but let me know what you guys want. And then maybe I'll even put a little poll in my Patreon members to see what it is you want to see over the next 2 months. And the weather's going to get better. Maybe we should even do a little boat trip. What do you guys think? To do a little bateau mouche? That's always fun. I think that's a great idea. We'll have to make sure we're going to have good weather because we don't want to do that in the rain. I have got to come back here and see this Notre Dame, which Chrissy said was really great. I really, really want to see that. There's also a new exhibit that's opening up at the Palais De Luxembourg that is sort of an immersive exhibition that is about Notre Dame. And I wanted to go see it on the 15th because I thought, oh, that'd be perfect on the day of the anniversary. I'll go check it out. But it's closed because, of course, it's Good Friday. Excuse me, all this smoke. So thank you guys so much. And oh, should I say hi? Hang on here. Hi. So thank you guys so much. And of course I have to fix my hair. My mom always laughs at me. But thank you guys for tuning in and seeing a little bit of my favorite Paris, which I've shared before, but it's kind of more fun when I get to do it myself, even though I love when Kate does it, but I get to point out other things. So I will see you guys all later. And thank you guys so much. And I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.